Hello friends, welcome to C memory layout session. So in this video we would be going to see how this memory layout of the C program is structured in the memory map of the system. So let's start with the lowest segment of the section, which is the data or the text code, which is the lowest address. Next we have initialized data. Then after that we have uninitialized data segment, which is also called as a BSS. Then we have heap, and after that we have command line arguments and environment variable which are stored at the highest address. After that we have stack, and this stack grows towards the lower addresses, and heap grows towards the higher addresses till it reaches. After that then we would have a memory allocation error for the heap. Okay, next uh, we would see in the detail about data or the text code segment. So this data segment has the executable instructions or the object files of the C program, and it also is a shareable and the read-only memory. Okay. Next, let's see. For example, take this code snippet of the C program. So this code snippet we would be using for checking out where all those uh, variables and the memory segments are mapped inside this memory map. Okay, so let's start with the initialized data. Okay, so this initialized data mostly holds global variables, static variables, which are initialized by a programmer. Next, it also known as the portion of the virtual address space. This initialized data is further divided into two subcategory. One is initialized read-write area, and further is initialized read-only area. Okay, so based on how we declare or initialize our variable, or the way we use the variable, uh, that would determine where our variables would go inside this initialized data. So let's see one by one. Okay, so this first one, which is character string, that would be put into the initialized read write area, as this global variable can be modified at the program runtime. Okay, next we have this constant character string. This also goes into the read only area, as it is a constant global string and it won't be changing afterwards. Next we have this character pointer. So where we have this character pointer named as a string, which is initialized with the welcome. So this value would go into the read only area, as this value won't be changing, but the character pointer, it is a pointer variable that can be changed during the runtime, so it goes into the initialize read write area. So this is the main difference when we have the character pointer pointing to the constant string. Then next we have a static variable which is inside the main. So this will also goes into initialized data. Okay, and after that we would have this dynamically allocated memory, which goes into the heap area. Okay, then we have this static variable which is not initialized. So this uninitialized variable will go into the uninitialized BSS segment. Okay, now let's see in detail about uninitialized data segment, or which is known as BSS segment. So this BSS name, it comes from the ancient assembler operator, which is called block started by symbol. This uninitialized segment contains all the uninitialized constants and the global variables. Next, those which are initialized by the execution process. So here, if you see the static int I, which is not initialized, will go into this uninitialized data segment. Okay, but the static int value is equal to 1, which is initialized by programmer, that won't go into the uninitialized segment. But we have some global variable like index or the static int state. Both of these would go into the uninitialized data segment, as those are uninitialized variable. Those would be stored in uninitialized data or the BSS segments. So let's move ahead. So now we will see the section which is heap. So this heap section would be where we would be allocating and deallocating the memory. So all those section, all those operations would be performed at the memory section, which is pointed by the heap. So most of the user calls, which are known as malloc, realloc, free, or the mmap, those calls use the heap memory area. Also, the system calls, which are brk and sbrk, which are internally used by many C and C++ memory management functions that are also executed inside the heap area. So the heap area also has some shared libraries and dynamically loaded modules in the process. So those are also stored in the heap area, which are dynamically linked. Now let's move ahead with the stack. So stack stores all the local variables and pointers, and also all those variables which are goes into stack are mostly automatic variables. Additionally, arguments which are passed to the function and the return address and the function pointers, all those are stored in the stack. Also, whenever we make a new function call, that function pointer is stored into the stack, and it is allocated with the new stack frame. So that function call, once it is executed, it comes again into the return pointer, which is it has stored into the stack, and start executing further. So this help very important in the recursive function calls. So in the recursive function call, every recursive call has the fresh stack frame. So all the variables and all the stack data are preserved and maintained for the each function call, and those are written recursively to their caller functions, and then we have clean and non-conflict behavior of the recursive functions, or you can say any function call. So let's see here, we have this int value equal to 1, or the integer I, or this function, all those values goes into the stack. Okay, and also last section, which is the argument, which are command line arguments, or the some environment variable which we set, those are stored above the stack address, which is at the highest address the program pointer have. So all the command line arguments and our main function pointers all are stored at the highest address of the program memory. Okay, so now this is just for example. If you execute a size command on the Linux on your process, suppose this memory layout is the name of your process, then you would get this data like text, data, bss, dec. So all those memory you can get. So all those memory mostly are written for uninitialized data, initialized data, and the text or the code. So text or the code is here 960, or the initialized data it has 248, or uninitialized data which is shown here as a bss, it is 8. Okay, so here we conclude our C memory map session. So if you have any questions, please put those in the comment section, so we can have the answer for them in our subsequent tutorial videos. Thank you.